Alrighty, solar panels. Solar panels come in multiple sizes. 12 volt, 24 volt, 36, 48 volt. All of my panels are 48 volt and they're 550 watts each. So this panel right here we're looking at right here, it's damn near 4 feet wide by 7.5 feet tall. It produces 550 watts at 48 volts. Okay, so this panel, these 8 right here that were closest to us, these are basically 2 sets of 4 wired in series. The way I did this is we first put this panel down and then that panel. And we have a jumper that goes from here up to there, okay, to there. That puts these two, so I have a negative here and I have positive up here. So basically I have negative, the positive side, the negative side, and the positive side there, okay? So, and then up here, so if that's positive up there, that one has to be negative, positive, negative, positive, okay? So, let me back up a little bit. I'm falling off this roof. Okay, so this panel here, we put this in. First thing we did is we ran a jumper from this side up to that side to tie them together, because when I did this, I made them top and bottom, the 4 top and bottom as a pair. And you can see why is the sun gets behind those trees. Those way down there, they start getting shade while these still have some power. And if I were to put like the 4 of these together this way, those panels down there would be dead. I mean, not dead. They'd have less sun than those ones up there, right? So these down here, I don't know, in the daytime, like at 4:30 at night, the sun starts coming across this way, or the shade starts coming across. So anyway, I did them. I built my series like that. So it's the 2 bottom ones here and the 2 top ones, and it's that way all the way across. Okay, so I have those 2 plugged in right there, which is hot, positive to negative, and then that positive goes all the way up and runs over to the combiner box up here, okay? And then over here, that panel and that panel are plugged together, and then that negative that's right here runs up and goes over to the combiner box and plugs in. That is one set of panel arrays, 4 panels. And the next 4 are wired exactly the same in series, and then they get in the combiner box, and the combiner box then combines them and makes them parallel. The reason you do this is you set up your series like that, okay? It multiplies your wattage. So 550, 550, 550 watts, and 550 watts. That's 2,200 watts, okay? But 48, or let's say 50 volts, 100 volts, 150 volts, 200 volts. My charge controllers, and this is very important, I can't say more than enough, do not overpower your charge controllers. If you have batteries, you have to have a charge controller. If you don't have batteries, you don't need a charge controller. If you're just going on right into the grid, you don't need a charge controller. My system is a hybrid system that's off grid and on grid. I'll explain that to you later. So you've got to have, okay, so 2,200 watts between these 4 panels when the sun is out and they're max producing. 2,200 watts and 200 volts. My charge controllers handle up to 250 volts, okay? Now the second set array, that one, that one, that one, and that one, it's the same thing, 2,200 watts and 200 volts, almost 200 volts, okay? When you put them in the combiner box and put them parallel, it's now 4,400 watts for the 8, but your amp or your voltage stays the same. It doesn't go up. The watts go up, but the voltage stays at about 100, at max about 200, okay? Like I said, my controllers are 250 volts and 5,200 watts. So at these 8, I'm under the max amount that the controllers can handle, and that's important. Otherwise, your controllers will get hot and they could malfunction. They could, they could go into alarm and just shut off because you're overloading them with too much power. So that is the purpose of wiring in series, the two sets, and then into the combiner box. I have 4 combiner boxes because I have 32 panels. Okay, there's 30 on this side and 2 on the other side. So that is panels. Again, they come in 12 volt, 24 volt, 48 volt. They don't come 36 volt, 48 volt. Okay, and you need to make sure when you buy your panels that you're doing the same thing. Everything has to be the same voltage when you're doing this. It's utmost input. Well, not so much panels. It's best to have everything the same voltage. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to have to make sure that you add everything up in your combiner boxes and just. So all mine are 48 volt, and it works great. All right, up to the next thing.